surrender that child to any fire station here within the city of Fresno or any hospital.
On July 2nd, a baby was found dead in the backyard of a Fresno home. The baby didn't belong to anyone at the residence, and an investigation was launched. An autopsy was conducted on July 6th, confirming the baby was a girl. The Fresno Fire Department is reminding the community of a program intended to dissuade people from abandoning babies in unsafe settings.
The purpose of this is to ensure that infants aren't abandoned, and that they're cared for and provided for. So anyone who feels uncomfortable, doesn't think that they can take care of that child, can go to any fire station here within the city of Fresno.
Sellers explains the process of surrendering a child.
They have a packet of information that is given to the parent or person dropping the child off. There's a wristband that's basically placed on the child that has a number, a corresponding number to the parent's wristband that gives them a little bit of time.
A program that is not often used in Fresno.
The process is very simple. It's confidential, so it's not your information isn't publicized, and you're also protected from criminal punishment for child abandonment.
And people who surrender a baby at a fire station or hospital are given that wristband that they can use to go back and pick up their child within 14 days if they have a change of heart. In the studio, Jason Taktagian, KSEE 24, local news that matters.
Jason, thank you. New tonight at 11, we now know the identity of the man found dead in an orchard in Reedley. His name is Santos Rios Ventura. Ventura was found in the area of Buttonwillow and Springfield Avenues just before 8 on Sunday morning. The deputy coroner saying that the 46-year-old had injuries consistent with a homicide, but so far no arrests have been made. Anyone with any information on this case is asked to contact the Fresno County Sheriff's Office. Also new tonight, Good Samaritans have saved a driver in Madera County after that driver and their car lands upside down in a canal. CHP says that on Sunday morning, a 24-year-old Fresno man was driving a Subaru Outback on Road 35 near Avenue 9. That driver lost control of his car and went off the road and landed upside down in a canal full of water. You can see those pictures right there. That is when other drivers came to the rescue. The CHP says Donald Hansen and Miguel Bazan got the driver out. They gave that man CPR until emergency crews arrived. The man was taken to CRMC in Fresno with major injuries. CHP says that the driver was believed to be under the influence at the time of the crash. They say they will be nominating the Good Samaritans for an annual Citizen Award. We are learning more tonight about a fight that led to a deadly stabbing outside a home in Madera. This happened late Saturday night. Investigators say that 2 teenage boys were at a quinceañera when a group got into a fight with those boys. When officers arrived, those boys were found stabbed outside of that party. They were rushed to the hospital, but that 13-year-old boy died. The other, a 15-year-old boy, was released. To the extent of his injuries just are not known tonight. Officers also say that a third teen was hit in the head with a blunt object during that fight, but add that he's going to be okay. The Madera police chief says that no one has been arrested, but believe that they are closing in on some possible suspects.
The investigation was a little bit slow the night of. We didn't have a lot of cooperation. There wasn't a lot of people coming forward, even though there's hundreds of people at this quinceañera party.
Police say they are still working on a motive, but say they believe it is gang-related. And check out this wild video of a boat just completely engulfed in flames in San Francisco. A Coast Guard says 2 people abandoned the boat and then were rescued by another boat. There is no word on how they are doing or what caused that boat to catch fire in the first place. The French fire continues to burn in Mariposa County after initially sparking on the 4th of July. It has since burned more than 900 acres, and as of tonight, it is 65% contained. Mariposa residents with a bit of relief now that the fire has shifted north and away from town. Brothers Bob and Jim Gilbert came very close to losing their homes to the fire. When they heard that fire was coming close to their property, one that has been in the family for nearly 40 years, they rushed in to do what they could do, even help grabbing some hoses and spraying down the yard.
My daughter and her granddaughter thinks we're heroes, you know, because my grandpa saved the town. Well, no, not necessarily. There's so many other people involved here. We just saved a little bit right here.
The flames came less than 50 yards from their home. Fire crews came just in time, saving their property and their neighbors' houses as well. Even at 11 o'clock tonight, it is still very hot out there, but if your energy bill has you sweating, there are some ways to beat the heat around town. Some thinking twice about riding out the heat wave in their own home. Going elsewhere is an option. K1 Speed is just one of several local indoor adventure parks with air and some action. The manager there of K1 Speed says that they are also concerned about energy costs during the summer months, but he also says that what's good for the customer is also good for their business.
More and more people are coming through, so it's kind of a win-win for business owners and, people like that. So it's been pretty busy.
The movies can also help you escape the heat. Maya Cinemas has summer deals almost every day of the week for flicks as low as $2. The Regal Cinemas has $1 movie tickets for midweek deals. And for up-to-the-minute weather forecasts and a list of cooling centers, just head to our website, yourcentralvalley.com. And still to come on KSEE 24 News at 11 tonight, how a local track club is helping mold the next generation of champions. We have the full story about a special track and field club right here in the Central Valley. That's in tonight's Champions of Tomorrow.
Here are the headlines for tonight. The heat wave continues, as does the excessive heat warning through all of the Central Valley. For the mountains, there are areas under a heat advisory, and most of the Sierra has a pretty high risk of wildfire. There is a cooling trend on the way. Cooling is quotations because, well, we're going to still be in triple digits even on the cool days. Your 4-day allergy forecast, that'll be medium through the rest of the week. Juniper, privet, and grass, the predominant pollens, and I'll have your complete forecast as KSEE 24 News continues.
Today, buying drugs is as easy as sending a text or ordering online. And while not every illegal drug sold is laced with a deadly amount of fentanyl, there's only one terrifying way to find out. Parents, please talk to your kids about the dangers of fentanyl-laced drugs before it's too late.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2024 Subaru Outback shares your spirit. With standard symmetrical all-wheel drive and up to 32 miles per gallon. Plus, 97% of Outback vehicles sold in the last 10 years are still on the road today. The 2024 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you.
Get 2.9% APR for 72 months on a new 24 Outback at Subaru of Fresno, where every new Subaru comes with complimentary maintenance included.
Get local news that matters and certified accurate forecasts at the new yourcentralvalley.com. Now scroll while you watch with quick access to news important to you. Connect with your community with the very latest local stories. KSEE 24 News is always available at yourcentralvalley.com.
I'm attorney Tom Dunyan. People ask me all the time, will you take my small case? Every case is important at our law firm, no matter the size. Whether you have a $20,000 case or a multi-million-dollar case, you'll get our full attention. We'll listen to your story and do what's best for you and your family. Our #1 goal is for you to get better and get back to your life. If you've been injured, call us. It's just that easy.
Call 877-DUNYON, DUNNION.
KSEE 24 News is brought to you by Accelerated Urgent Care. Now, AMS certified Chief Meteorologist AJ Fox with your local weather authority forecast.
Well, I guess we can take our good news where we can sometimes. It was cooler than yesterday. That being said, it was still 112 degrees. It was cooler than the record that we set back in 1905. That 115, by the way, set in 1905 is the hottest it's ever been in the city of Fresno. In recorded history, 115 is the top. We haven't broken that. We've gotten very close a couple of times, 114 yesterday, but 112 for today. So the record hottest day ever remains in history, 1905. Our morning low was 78, so those very warm temperatures in the morning don't give us a lot of relief, and then we get very hot in the afternoon, and all of the western states are under some kind of heat statement, and that basically remains until further notice because it keeps getting extended. Now, the heat advisory is in Yosemite National Park. It was for the entire Sierra Nevada, but a portion has been let go from that. And then the rest of the valley is under an excessive heat warning, and that's going to go until Saturday morning. Like I said, unless it gets extended, and we'll have to let you know. 91 currently in Fresno, 93 in Hanford, 80 in Madera, 83 in Merced, 85 currently in Visalia. About half the valley is a little better than half the valley is cooler than yesterday. A couple of spots are warmer. Hanford and Lemoore messing things up for everybody else. Looking outside at our valley cam, this is a Kauai Health. A little hazy out there tonight, but that's having to do with the air quality and the temperature put together. It's making that little bit of haze out there. Then clear skies otherwise. Live radar showing us that. Satellite picture showing us that. Strong high pressure all across the west, and what's left of Beryl tearing itself apart as it goes over land and now pretty well into Arkansas and moving on. Strong high pressure for us, giving us our hot temperatures, and as long as it's there, it's going to continue to allow our temperatures to get hot every single day. And when we see this flow coming in from the south, as high pressure starts to move off to the east, it'll bring up a little bit of cloudiness coming our way, and you'll see that in the 7-day forecast in a moment. But for tomorrow, skies remain very, very clear, and so our temperatures get pretty hot again, but we are stepping down a little bit. So finally, most of the valley, I say most, is going to be below 110 degrees. And our overnight low temperatures, a little relief. 68 for Pixley, 69 in Hanford, 68 for 5 Points, 76 in Fresno is cooler than this morning. 66 for Madera, 67 in Merced, 65 in Los Banos with a high tomorrow of 104, 105 in Merced, 103 expected in Oakhurst, 107 in Madera, 109 in San Joaquin. There's a 110 for 5 Points, 111 in Huron, 110 in Kettleman City, 109 in Corcoran, Tulare and Porterville, 108. Same for Pixley. Air quality, that's going to improve a little bit too. Unhealthy for sensitive groups is actually a little bit better than where it's been. Your solar forecast brought to you by Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. Good high numbers through Thursday. But on Thursday, notice the energy savings drops a little bit because the temperature goes up and we'll have to run our air conditioners a little more. 76 tonight. That's still above normal, but it's a step down. 108, same thing. It's still above normal, but it's a step down from today. The normal high temperature, by the way, for tomorrow is still 97 degrees. We get up to 109 on Wednesday. We're back up to the extreme heat for Thursday, 112, still 110 on Friday, but that's the beginning of some cooling temperatures. We'll lose a few more degrees on Saturday, a few more after that, and a couple more, and temperatures become a lot more manageable through the early days of next week. And look at the overnight low temperatures going up to 80 degrees, but then dropping down into the lower 70s, meaning some relief will be coming our way at night. Your regional forecast is available on our website at yourcentralvalley.com, so please go check it out there. Sometimes that's the hardest part to deal with. It's one thing to deal with really hot temperatures during the day, but when it stays very warm at night, that makes it very uncomfortable. But we're going to get some more overnight relief next week.
Any breeze with that at all?
Probably a little bit of a breeze, but nothing that's particularly strong that I'm aware of. But when it does get breezy for us, we will keep an eye on winds for the mountain areas because that'll increase our fire danger.
Yeah. All right, AJ, thanks so much. West Nile virus and St. Louis encephalitis virus have been detected in mosquitoes in Visalia. This is a look at the map from the Delta Mosquito and Vector Control District. The two yellow areas at the top of your screen are where mosquitoes with West Nile virus were detected. That red area at the bottom is where a sample of St. Louis encephalitis was found. You can help prevent the spread of mosquitoes by cleaning areas of standing water where the insects can breed. Then this includes pet dishes, bird baths, and the water under potted plants. Coming up next in sports, a new era kicks off for one former Bulldog. Today, we got our first look at Paul George in a Philadelphia 76ers jersey. Dylan Morgan joining us now with more on that.
That is right, and you know what they say, once you look good, you start to feel even better. That's certainly the vibe for PG at the moment as he touches down in Philly for the first time today. We'll hear from him next in Sports Central.
Get local news that matters and certified accurate forecasts at the new yourcentralvalley.com. Now scroll while you watch with quick access to news important to you. Connect with your community with the very latest local stories. KSEE 24 News is always available at yourcentralvalley.com.
Injured? Here's what other top law firms are saying about Berg Injury Lawyers.
We've worked with them for years and really admire their work. They've seen it all and done it all. They're very experienced lawyers.
They're great with clients, tough on opponents, and they're a force in the community.
I can't say enough good things about them. Everything they do is first rate.
Good people, tough lawyers. They always give 100%.
If I were in California and needed a lawyer, I'd call Berg Injury Lawyers.
Berg Injury Lawyers. 800-400-BERG.
We're a really busy family of 6 and moving into a new house, and Empire made it really easy.
They brought samples to our house, quality products, and installation on our schedule.
And we're really happy with everything.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today. Stay informed, stay connected with the ValleyCam Network.
Some see the finish line as the end. But for us, it's the starting line for the next race, where there is no best, only better. It's the drive, not the destination. Every rep, every step, every day. So cancel off days, cancel excuses, cancel the quit. Proud partner of Team USA and the Olympic Dream. Toyota, let's go places.
Men and women both face factors that can impede normal hair growth and trigger hair loss. Well-Rooted Hair and Scalp Clinic has helped thousands of happy patients address hair loss and scalp disorders. Book your free consultation and get your hair loss under control. Scan now for details.
Now, Sports Central, presented by Toyota.
Ex-Bulldog Paul George is rocking some fresh new threads. For the first time Monday, George made his way to the city of brotherly love, making the PG-8 era official. Take a look. For the first time in 5 years, George is settling into a new home as the 9-time All-Star returns back to the Eastern Conference. Expectations are high now with the triple threat of George, Joel Embiid, and Tyrese Maxey. The Sixers now jump to plus 700 odds to win the championship next year, marking their best preseason chances since 1985. But PG isn't fazed one bit, with his confidence coming from the front office after their pitch on the future.
We believe in you. We want you here. There's no perfect pairing with you, Joel, Tyrese together. You know, and it was just, you know, my family felt it. I felt it. It just felt like, all right, this is where I'm going to spend the next chapter of my life.
Former Bulldog Isaiah Hill is officially headed overseas to start his professional career on the court. Hill signs with the Caledonia Gladiators out of Scotland. They compete in the top tier of basketball in the United Kingdom, as Hill now gets his start in the pros. Olympic hoops are just around the corner, and the groups have officially been locked in. Group A is highlighted by Canada and Greece. They'll be led by 2 NBA stars respectively, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Giannis. While over in Group B, it's the young big men going to work in a balanced pairing. Victor Wembanyama and France are the favorites, but guys like Rui Hachimura from Japan and Germany's Mo Wagner will try to spoil the home team's chances. While rounding out the tournament, we have the U.S. in Group C. They'll square off with Serbia, Puerto Rico, and South Sudan out the gate, with action for Team USA starting on July 18th. And it's a bittersweet goodbye for the Giants, as San Fran has announced they are trading their longest tenured player, Austin Slater, to the Cincinnati Reds. Sunday night, Slater, along with cash considerations, were dealt to Cincy in exchange for pitcher Alex Young. Slater was drafted back in 2014 and played in 592 games for the Giants over the last 8 years, while also serving in a leadership role for the MLB Players Association. That's a wrap on sports. KSEE 24 News continues right after this.
Do you have both Medicare and Medicaid? If so, you may qualify for a dual-eligible special needs plan from Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield, with benefits and coverage for dental services or routine eye exams. Call now to explore plan options available in your zip code. Learn about the additional care, resources, and support you could have with an Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield dual special needs plan. Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield dual-eligible special needs plans offer more benefits than you have access to with original Medicare alone. Additional benefits could help you save out-of-pocket costs. These benefits could include a healthy grocery allowance each month, transportation to plan-approved medical appointments, or an annual allowance to spend on eyewear. Most of the Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield dual special needs plans have $0 monthly premiums, $0 copays, or $0 deductibles that can also help you save on out-of-pocket costs. If you have both Medicare and Medicaid, don't miss your chance to enroll in a dual special needs plan. Call today to see what plans with additional benefits may be available in your zip code. Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield dual special needs plans offer more than original Medicare. like annual allowances towards dental, vision, or hearing coverage. These plans offer even more benefits that may provide you with additional care and support. With a 24/7 nurse line, you could have access to a registered nurse to help answer your questions whenever you need. If you're in immediate need of a caregiver or emergency services, these Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield plans provide a personal emergency response system. Contact a caregiver or emergency services at the touch of a button. If you have both Medicare and Medicaid, don't miss your chance to enroll in a plan with more benefits than you may have with original Medicare alone. Call today to speak with a licensed agent and explore 2024 dual-eligible special needs plans. The call is free and there's no obligation to enroll.
Call 800-972-3185. 800-972-3185. That's 800-972-3185. Call now.
However, our third quarter earnings show a market. These projections.
At Roundtable Pizza, everyone is pizza royalty.
Now YourCentralValley.com pros who know.
Swelling, cramping, and redness in your legs can be signs of circulatory issues. See your doctor and keep moving to keep your blood flowing.
For more expert advice, go to YourCentralValley.com/pros who know.
Local animal shelters are still bringing in some furry friends after they were spooked during 4th of July celebrations. KSEE 24's Kayla Holt tells us how the community is handling the recent increase in animals at local shelters.
We follow a lot of local lost and found sites online, and it's nonstop right now. It's just lost pet after lost pet.
Since celebrating the 4th of July last week, Valley Animal Center's Ruben Cantu says there are more than 65 dogs being housed at the Valley Animal Center, and that number is rising.
And what's unfortunate is a lot of those dogs aren't going to find their way back home, whether that's just them getting too far from home, or a lot of the reality is the families aren't always looking.
For that reason, the center is asking for the public's help in adopting these animals.
The reality of shelters is we are full, and it's almost impossible to house these guys without making it uncomfortable for the animals that are already on site.
In some cases, the animals brought into the shelter are strays, but sometimes they are simply lost pets. Temporarily fostering animals until owners claim them could make all of the difference.
Maybe you can help that dog avoid ever setting foot in a kennel, and they get to go back home happily ever after.
Kayla Holt, KSEE 24, local news that matters.
Announced today, Fresno will be holding its 4th annual citywide community cleanup day. That cleanup day will be Saturday, August 3rd, between 8 and 10 in the morning. Volunteers can register for one of the 4 main cleanup locations, including in downtown Fresno, Southeast Fresno, West Fresno, or Manchester Center. Beautify Fresno will be providing all the materials needed for that event. Participants can attend a thank you party in the Manchester Center parking lot starting at 10 when the cleanup is over, and that will include some local food trucks, music, activities, and a free tie-dye t-shirt, along with Fresno Grizzlies game tickets. We are less than 3 weeks away from the start of the Olympic Games in Paris, where track and field will again be in the spotlight. Sports director Scott Beamish shows us there is a club right here in the Central Valley that is hoping to produce some champions of tomorrow.
The coaches do a good job of keeping things fun.
I would say that's probably 99% of it.
With the Fresno Flyers Track Club.
We work on your form, we work on you, the way you move, the way you swing your arms, and they listen.
Apparently so, because this club, whose roster includes kids from 5 years old up through high school, has helped develop some impressive athletes over the years, including recent NFL first-round draft choice, Xavier Worthy.
We have kids who are actually even, some of them are in the NFL now.
Over 40 kids from the club have qualified for junior nationals later this summer, including 12-year-old Jana Whitfield, who finished second in the high jump at last summer's National Junior Olympics at historic Hayward Field in Eugene, Oregon.
Wow, there's something different about her, and when she just jumps in the air, she just has this different ability that does set her apart.
Whitfield also likes cross country and basketball, but says track and field is her favorite, especially after joining the club a few years ago.
I started improving more, and then I just knew that this was my sport because I really liked it and I was good at it.
So good, in fact, that she has gained nearly 1.5 feet on her personal best, up from 3'8" to 5 feet 1 inch since first trying the high jump in the 4th grade.
She's very quiet, but then when she goes, she just pops right off the ground.
And as she gets ready to be a 7th grader at Alta Sierra in Clovis, she'll be watching the high jumpers in Paris closely, looking for ways to get even better.
I want to see everyone's form and see how I can improve.
At Hoover High School in Fresno, Scott Bemis for Sports Central.
And coming up on KSEE 24 News at 11, a life-saving animal rescue in the South Valley, all done with the use of an unexpected tool. We will have those details next.
Do you own a house that you need to get out of quickly or needs costly repairs? No worries. Hi, I'm Dean with Home Helpers Group, and we buy houses for cash in any condition all over the Central Valley. We buy everything from vacant, damaged, or rented properties to homes in good condition that you just need to sell fast. All with no stress, no repairs, no commissions, and no fees. Give us a call today for a free cash offer. Call 559-888-5100.
Home Helpers Group, getting you cash in days.
With 64 Daryl's Mini Storage locations, we make it possible to store your memories and keep your secrets secret. Daryl's has you covered since 1963.
KSEE 24 and the Valley Cam Network. Keep an eye on the Central Valley with live, unparalleled views of your community. Witness what's unfolding around the valley. Stay informed, stay connected with the Valley Cam Network.
Sometimes the littlest things bring the biggest changes. With Kauai Health by your side, you won't face those changes alone. Our family practice physicians care for every member of your family, developing relationships and getting to know your specific health needs. Because living your best life is about enjoying every moment to the fullest. Kauai Health Clinics, more than medicine, life.
Want to save on some of the biggest names in streaming on the network made for streaming? X marks the spot. Now when you get Xfinity Internet for 12 months, you can add the new Stream Saver for $15. That includes Netflix, Peacock, and Apple TV+. That's Xfinity Internet and Stream Saver for just $35 a month. All your favorites, all in one place, all for one low price. For more watching and less spending, X marks the spot. Switch to Xfinity, the network made for streaming, and bring on the good stuff.
Professional artists and beginners alike rely on Allard's Art. With the Valley's best selection of art supplies, Allard's has everything you need and an experienced staff to assist you from concept to framed completion. Allard's Art Supply, picture framing and fine pens at Blackstone and Barstow.
After a car accident, you might think it's best to wait and see before calling a lawyer. But if you've been injured, wait and see could turn into wait and lose. When the insurance company thinks you need money, they usually offer less than you really deserve, often a lot less. At Berg Injury Lawyers, we don't believe in wait and see. We believe in fight and win. Car accident? Get Berg. 1-800-400-BERG.
All right, check it out. A daring rescue of a kitten who spent several days trapped in a sewer pipe. A homeowner first heard the kitten the day after the 4th of July. They called the Sanger Fire Department and Animal Control. Neither could come out and help. With no other options, they then made the call to the Kirkland Foundation. After days of digging, Sunday was the final day where all their work paid off. One of their last-ditch efforts was a snake camera they used from Roto-Rooter. They inserted a camera inside the 3.5-inch pipe, hoping to find him, and with one last pull, the kitten was free and could not be more adorable. Good stuff there.
Yeah, that's good press for the Roto-Rooter guys.
You got to get that cat out when it's so hot outside, too.
Oh, my gosh. You got that right. I wonder if they're going to put the cat up for adoption. You cat or dog guy?
Dog.
You're dog guy?
Yeah, okay. I mean, you've got presumably that cat, all the other dogs that were scared by 4th of July fireworks. So you got your pick.
Right. There's going to be a lot of adoptables out there.
Yeah.
I got 4 cats at home myself.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Maybe too much. Real quickly, what can people expect weather-wise?
Oh, okay, so it's still going to be extremely hot out there, a little bit less than today. We will go back to 112 by Thursday, but then notice the significant cool down all the way down to something that we can handle, 101 on Monday.
All right, AJ, thanks so much, and thank you all for watching. We appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your night or what you have left, and we'll see you back here tomorrow at 5.
Get local news that matters and certified accurate forecasts at the new YourCentralValley.com. Now scroll while you watch with quick access to news important to you. Connect with your community with the very latest local stories. KSEE 24 News is always available at YourCentralValley.com.
Wednesday, only on News Nation. Cuomo.
I don't say it often, but Bill O'Reilly, you're spot on.
O'Reilly.
I know a lot, Cuomo, and you'd be very wise to listen very closely.
Toe-to-toe in TV's liveliest, most honest debate.
That was actually very productive stuff.
Special guest Bill O'Reilly on Cuomo.
But it's a fact-based story.
Can't wait till the next time I see you.
Wednesday at 8, 7 Central, only on America's fastest-growing cable news network, News Nation.
I'm attorney Bridget Dunyan. If you're calling our law firm, you're probably having one of the worst days of your life. You've been injured, you need help, and you don't know what